40 years ago, we opened our doors with one mission in mind.
We'll be right back with the top 10 songs of 1983.
To sell quality American-made vehicles at a fair price.
You have arrived.
And we've loved every minute of the ride. Celebrating 40 years of Two Rivers.
It is 1 o'clock. Good afternoon from the Superbook.com Sports Desk. I'm Lucas Panzica. The national championship game in the men's basketball tournament is tonight. San Diego State takes on UConn in Houston. They'll tip it off at 8:30. You can hear the Westwood One coverage right here on The Zone. Also tonight, after a weekend series win over the Nationals, the Braves are at the St. Louis Cardinals. First pitch coming at 8:45. And the Nashville Predators continuing their playoff push. They are at the Dallas Stars. Puck drop is at 7:30. Preds are currently 5 points back of Winnipeg with 2 games in hand for that final playoff spot in the Western Conference. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Let's do this, Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Boy, hope you avoided all the crazy stuff that was blowing around this weekend. Got the crew all back together. I was off on Friday, man.
Good, man. You had a great time? Well, first of all, we got to make sure, Robert get us something up here to watch on TV. And maybe not baseball because it is now shorter, but I don't want to watch baseball, but unless there's nothing else on. Because I know, Mickey, tell us your story. You were down at the Cardinals game, you and your fam. How'd that go, man? You survived the storm.
So my son and I went, we left Friday morning early, got to Clarksville, Tennessee. It rained, it hailed for about 45 seconds.
Did you have to pull over?
Nope, we just kept on trucking. So it's just my son and me. So he's in the back in his kid's seat, and he's like, it's hailing. By the time he said it, it was over. I said, let's just keep going.
Okay.
So we busted out of that, whatever that dome of bad weather. I've driven through so much bad weather in Clarksville, Tennessee. I don't know why. As soon as we got out of that, nothing. The rest of the day. Drive to St. Louis. It was windy.
Oh, yeah.
No bad weather. Supposed to be there at noon. We got there around noon. No bad weather. Supposed to be there at 1. No bad weather. Supposed to be there at 2. 0 bad weather in St. Louis, Missouri. And it was supposed to be bad. So I have a friend who played Major League Baseball for a long time, runs a baseball school, had a lesson scheduled for him and Chris, who's my son at 3, Rabble Rouser, as you guys know him. So we go over there, do the lesson. He was a longtime pitcher in the big league, so showed him some pitching form. I want his arm to be okay. So I said, show him the best way to use his body weight and throw.
Technique and
right angles. Like you're always talking about technique. The right technique will take you a long way. So he's not even in. This is his last season of coach pitch. So anyway, he showed him how to pitch and worked with him on some other stuff. Gave him some fielding, like you always say. Gave him some tricks of the trades, trade secrets, like, leverage, turn your foot here. So anyway, all that goes well. It was supposed to be bad. We walked outside, sun was shining. Sun just shining. Like it's the wrong day. So I have some. So I have some friends I knew from my TV days. If you listen to the show long, I've had several different work lives. So one of my work lives was TV anchor. So some friends of mine live right across the river in Illinois. So we go and have dinner with them. Rained while we were eating, but not one drop on us. Drive back to their house. And finally, it got organized enough for that line to come through like we always get here, where the wind blows 50 miles per hour and it lightnings 15 minutes and rains a lot. That's it. That's the whole entirety of the weather. Now, just past us in Illinois, it was awful. It destroyed a bunch of stuff. They had tornadoes. I know what happened here. Heck,
Oh,
in
man.
Wynne, Arkansas, which is 20 miles south of where I'm from, it just cut the town in half, they said. Took the turf off the football field and blew it all over the town, destroyed the school. Little Rock, Arkansas, which I'm from about 2 hours away from Little Rock. Little Rock, if you took Arkansas and said, I'm going to put a pin right in the middle, that's where Little Rock is, they got hammered. So it was wild. It was a wild day, but it was never bad where we were.
Did the Cards win?
They won. So go to the game on Saturday. So I'll never see these ladies again, probably. It was
What is that?
that's Blaine Bishop videos on
Man,
our
this
screen.
guy's acting silly, Robert.
Robert
man.
has the
Robert
Blaine
is a hoot,
Bishop
man.
highlight video going on our video screen in here.
Oh, man, he is out of control, man. That guy is
Look
one
at
of a kind.
this.
He's one of a kind. Look at that cast I got on my hand right there. 3 years, look at that cast
There
right
it is
there, man.
again.
Every time I got a cast on my thumb, man.
you and Peyton Manning?
Ooh,
Is you
there's the
sacking
cast
Mark
right there.
Brunell?
Yeah, look at that. Oh, I didn't have no cast on. I caught it. That's Keenan McCardell, by the way. He was a Brown initially.
Was that the one you ran for the touchdown and yelled at the dog pound and they threw beer on you?
That might have been. That might have been. Oh, there's my first NFL start. Good call right there. Steve Young, sack calls, fumble, Hall of Famer, and Troy Aikman got him there too. Ooh, watch this interception. Give me that. That was back in the day. Ooh, Darnay Scott, he was fast. Oh my gosh.
We got memory lane go. Roberts, you just flipped a switch in here.
Oh
We need-
yeah. Oh yeah.
Listen,
Oh, that's
I tried
Keyshawn
to
Johnson
put
right
something
there.
Good
Oh,
on the TV, and
Oh,
apparently
Hope.
all of our TV services are out. So you can't
is that
get
what it
any
was?
highlights.
Oh, okay. I appreciate you putting that on there.
Led us down this
Oh,
road.
Randall Godfrey was bad, man. Majama. Ooh, right here. That was against the Colts in the playoffs. Yeah. Oh, look at me changing the plays like that. Oh, that's Willie Davis right there.
He's from Central Arkansas.
He the Kansas when he was at the Chiefs. I don't
Leroy
know. I
Hoare.
don't know how much highlights you got left here. Oh, underrated Barry Foster. You youngsters probably don't know him. He ran hard, man. I had a headache after every time I hit him.
I think that was Eric Pegram, or was that Merrill Hodge?
I don't know. No, Mayor Hodge. I didn't play during Mayor Hodge's time.
Okay.
Good.
Y'all gotta tweet that video out from Blaine
glad
and
you
Nikki.
ended that. There, I had a cast on right there too. That's broken form.
How many casts did you wind up wearing on
Well,
your?
there was, it kind of. I don't look. I was never built. I mean, I was built up, but I was a corner nickel dime guy who was an imposter of a safety. And so my body always told me I was always breaking something. I was just, I never had any injuries. Break my forearm, break my thumb, dislocate my finger. Everything had to do with my hands. And to be honest, there's a part of me, I could catch really good coming into the league. But I lost a little bit of confidence once I had the cast on there because I could never catch the ball cleanly after that. Because first of all, I always had a cast on most of the season for at least 3 seasons in a row. And then when I got them off, I just, man, things was a little bit different. And I just never had confidence in my hands at that point in time because I had never really used them at that point. Because I kept dropping the ball. I remember I dropped this one. I was already thinking about running down the sideline in the Adelphia Coliseum. And I dropped it, hit me dead in the breadbasket.
It's a PBU, man.
No, it was a PB. Yeah. Boy. It was right there on our sidelines, too. It was just like, oh. And it was one of the ones I said, I'm going to catch you with my hand. I'm going to catch you with my body. I'm going to catch you with my hand. I'm going to catch you with my body. Oh, ball here. Boom, boom, boom. Drop.
Who threw it?
Oh, I can't even remember. I don't even remember the team. I try to forget all those nightmarish drops. So I had no excuse. None at all. So, yeah, those are the ones you remember. You remember some of the good time, but I remember all bad plays, even if it didn't impact the game at all. At all. And that's funny because that's what takes you back, to try to be better. Mm-hmm. We lost the Super Bowl there. I always talk about that. Hey, I knew the team was better the next season. It kind of fueled you to know that you were going to be a great team again. That whole offseason, man, I worked that hard, but I just knew we were bringing home that crown. I knew it. There was no doubt in my mind. The whole entire team knew it. It wasn't even talked about. It was a given. We knew. So it burns me at times because then I see, what they did, the 30 for 30 on the Bullies of Baltimore. I'm going, Man, so if we would have won the Super Bowl, we would have had something similar to that.
Tennessee Tyrants. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it would have been. But that's what happens, man. We were split as number one's defense, but they took the crown. Their special teams, I thought defensively we were pretty much even, but their special teams really won that game. So, yeah, got me all depressed and everything else now.
Man, you were so happy
somber.
watching the video.
I was. I went from excitement to, oh, yeah. And it makes me worry now about the Titans. Where are we going with them? And, you know, the rumors, I don't know if, I know you were traveling on vacay with the fam.
I know about the rumors.
Yeah, they go move up to 3. What are your thoughts on that? And Jeremiah and all these national guys saying that's a possibility. And I'm just wondering if that was just said and then all of a sudden because they want the coach to act. It just made me think because they have the 4th pick, don't they? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is the Titans really serious? Was that really up for rumor or did he put that out there? It kind of got confirmed a little bit, with the Richardson, a couple days before that. Oh, perfect opportunity to put this out there. Mm-hmm. Boom. So I have no idea. But, man, it would be a little exciting if that happened. But, man, what can you give up to get there? That's what I was saying. Like, oh, okay, you go to Arizona. What are you giving up? Are you giving up a player and a pick?
Well, this is in 2021 when Rand Carthon was on the 49ers staff and they traded up to draft Trey Lance. They traded to number 3. I think they went from 12 to 3.
Ooh. What did they give up?
So they traded 12, obviously.
Uh-huh.
1st and 3rd round picks in 22 and a 1st rounder in 2023. And in exchange, they sent all that to Miami and they got pick 3, which is Trey Lance.
Oh, so they have to give up 2.
So swap a 1st, which they're not trading. That's not another 1st. They're swapping.
You're just going to, you
Does that make sense? Because people say, they traded 3 firsts. No, they didn't. They had a 1st already. They swapped.
They swapped.
So they swapped.
So they moved down.
And then they traded 2 additional 1sts and a 3rd.
The next year.
The next year's 1st and 3rd. Then the next year after that's 4.
What if you trade a player as one of those picks? I don't know what player that would be, but the one most value on the market would be. This is going to sound crazy. I said this on Friday with Rhett. Not only Big Jeff brings the most value, Tannehill. And I know it's going to sound crazy. Mm-hmm. And I know they have a lot on the books. I don't even know their salary cap history there, Arizona. But I do know old Kyler Murray got hurt in December.
Yeah.
So who's the starting quarterback when they start the season? And I think Tannehill has 1 more year left on his deal. So is Tannehill maybe a viable option? Now, I know that's crazy. And then people going to say, oh, we're going to start off with a rookie. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We got to get this guy up to speed. Vrabel and his staff are great developers. Mm-hmm. We'll see what you can do with this quarterback. Not one that was already, groomed and set up, but now y'all got to groom him. It's your guy, whoever that may be. So I don't know, if that's a possibility, but to me, Tannehill and Big Jeff have the most value if you're talking about players being part of a trade to move up. And then, how do they fit into their cap and everything else? And a concern for me is, can they pay Big Jeff? And will he get impatient? I saw his agent just, putting out cryptic stuff on his IG. I don't know what it means, because Jeff got rid of everything.
Right.
As far as he's not on them anymore anyway. Close out some of them. So I don't know where we're going. I think that it's just bad timing. I don't know if they'll be able to pay him what he's worth. You think the Titans can pay him $25 million? Where are they getting that money?
Well, they have plenty.
They got to go rob Robert and Lucas for that money. There is no money, and we know they got no money either.
This year's the problem. Next year, the year after, they're like top 3 cap space next year, but they're looking at couch cushions this year.
So now you're trying to buy time.
Trying to buy time. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. He can't be missing practice once it starts. Like they legitimately finding dudes. You can get up millions of dollars, and you will get fined. It's in the CBA now.
I think now you got to do my right buttocks is a little tight today. I can't practice.
Yeah.
I'm here. Can't practice.
But it's more to it than that. The organization has to agree to that. It ain't like you can just
They have to
show
agree to
up
it.
and like, my hamstring. That Debo Samuel deal, let's use San Francisco. That was an agreed upon. We're going to get something done. It's just not yet. We're working on it. So they knew they were already into negotiations. I don't know where they are with Big Jeff, and I don't think really they haven't gained any ground. At least, we don't understand that they have. And so I think Big Jeff is going to be a little frustrated because I know he knows I'm one of the best.
Yeah.
It's time to get paid.
And it's going to be $25 million. It has to be. It's $25
Gotta be
million.
around there. And man, I don't know where they're getting it from. Yeah, he gonna be an unhappy camper, and maybe that's a good thing because eventually, at some point, he gotta. I'm putting on my pass. Let's go.
Yeah.
Cause he ain't walking away from no money and then getting fined millions of dollars.
Yeah.
There's no way. Glad they didn't have that when I was around, boy. I would have showed up with quickly. Back, hey, I'm here. Let's go. Woo, man.
All right. We're here for segment number 2 of the show. Time for Ding Dong of the Week. Maybe you have a Ding Dong candidate from the basketball game yesterday. Maybe the officials. Maybe there was something you didn't like. Lots of talk about women's basketball. It's an exciting tournament for them. Maybe you got a Titans-related, NFL-related Ding Dong. We'll get into Ding Dong of the Week. We do need to start talking about this trade stuff as well. The report from Daniel Jeremiah from his Move the Sticks podcast. We'll get into all that and more. It is a Monday. We want to hear from you, 615-737-1045. Blaine and Mickey keeping their heads ringing on a Monday. Ring a ding, ding, dong. You got a ding dong to give us. Hit us. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing. Or as we like to say, don't be a ding dong. Use Mark Spain. You can even call us on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline, 615-737-1045. Eric in Nashville, we'll get him on. He's already checked in. You got one you want to share? I have several ding dongs.
But you do?
Can I lead off and just give myself a giant ding dong for the day?
You go give yourself a ding dong.
Just for being an old fart.
How do you do that?
I'm giving it. I got the ding dong. I brought it into work. I knew coming in today that I had to give myself a ding dong in this segment. You know, when we make a wrong move, we got to say it.
Yeah.
So
that happens a lot.
Maybe too often. About a week ago, pitch clock came up. The progressive young man sitting across from me said, one Blaine E. Bishop said, hey, man, this is good for baseball. It's going to bring in new fans. It's going to stop dragging out the game. And here I like the space and the pitcher walking around, getting the rosin bag, and patting his hands.
School, you like
and the batter stepping out 6 times to look at the pitcher, and then the pitcher stepping off again.
That's what did Lucas quit watching. He changed the channel.
Right,
Lucas changed the channel.
100%. Lucas isn't sticking around for half of that mess. Well, guess what? Your boy went to a ball game on Saturday. My son and me were out in 2 hours and 31 minutes. It's the most efficient thing I've ever seen in my life.
And you still had a great time and had the rest of your day.
And not at one point did I ever think, I wish they'd stared at each other longer. Boy, I wish that pitcher had gone to the rosin bag 16 more times. That would have really, hey, man, it was a life changer.
Oh, wow.
Because baseball's still baseball, but the screwing around between pitches, it ain't happening anymore.
Oh, man.
Dude, they hustle. Pitcher jumps right back on the pitching mound. Hey, we got to go.
So what is the actual penalty if they don't do it in the – did the guy just get to go to first?
I think, as I understand it, I think it's just the next strike or the next ball.
Oh, okay.
So the pitcher would be awarded a ball and the batter would be awarded a strike. So if that's the one that puts you on base, so be it. But it keeps the game moving so economically you wouldn't believe it. And it's still baseball.
Yeah.
We get there, and you were asking me a story, how did we do? They had it was bobblehead. They had bobbleheads of Yachty and Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
And it was a mystery. You only got one or the other. And the Cardinals only do bobbleheads for adults. So we were only going to get one. My son's 8.
Which one'd you get?
Well, we met these unbelievably sweet ladies who were all my mother's age in line. And it was cold. Like when I put a blanket over my son, they were talking to him, being super nice. Where are you from? Nashville. What'd you come for? Well, I really want this. I want this Albert Pujols bobblehead. And it was them pitching. They both pitched in a blowout last year, where they go in and throw it 65 miles per hour.
That was cool.
So they said, well, let's see which one you get. He goes, I hope I get Albert, but I'll be okay with either one. So we go in, get ours. He gets Yachty. He loves Yachty, but he really wanted the Albert because Albert, they're both retired.
Yeah.
He really wanted the Albert. Here come these 4 ladies. Which one did you get? He said, I got Yachty, but it's okay. That lady said, girls, open your boxes now. 3 of them had Albert, and 1 of them had Yachty Molina. She looked at the 3 Alberts and said, hey, one of y'all trade with him. So she traded with him. So he got Albert. And she had Yachty. She goes, here, now you have both. He got both of them.
Oh,
so whoever those ladies are.
I want a bobblehead of Pujols, man. Dang.
Pitching Pujols. There'll never be another one.
Dang.
So he was on cloud 9. That was the start of his day, was these sweet ladies doing that for him. So a reverse ding-dong for them. They were amazing.
Oh,
but a big ding-dong to me for I don't like them messing with my baseball. This has a real chance to make people, like you said, Lucas, who's not a huge baseball fan, hey, I'm not watching this. First inning took 37 minutes. I'm not doing it. They were in and out the door 2 hours and 31 minutes. And I'm as baseball purist as anybody. I mean, I played 9 seasons of baseball. That's the one I played the most. It's the one I loved the most. That's the one that I still miss if I think about it. Because sometimes you miss, like Lucas misses his soccer exploits in high school. It wasn't that long ago. But this was fantastic for the game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So big ding-dong for myself there.
Do you have any bobbleheads at home, Lucas?
I don't have a single bobblehead at home.
What's the dog for the Vols?
Smokey?
Smokey. Yeah, I got Smokey.
You got a Smokey bobblehead?
Mhm. I have 2 bobbleheads.
What's the other one? Coach Mack?
Yeah.
I'm the only one who doesn't have a bobblehead, Coach Mack.
Coach Mack, man. Trust me, I had to, get some calls and hey, man, I want one. Coach Mack and the bobbleheads, man. So that's the only bobbleheads I have. That's cool.
Lonzo says ding dong of the week goes to Shane McMahon for getting injured in a surprise match at WrestleMania, and another ding dong for WWE letting Cody loose. He said there was a lot of wrestling tweets last night, a lot going on.
Man, yeah, I got people. Hey, man, I have people texting me about the ding dong for Vince McMahon selling WWE for $9 billion when he could have waited another year and got it for $21 billion. Semantics. I like what? Wow. Yeah, man. He just said he need to clean up a few things and could have got double that.
Holy moly!
Yeah, so they are now partners with UFC. Isn't that crazy? Is that right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Well, Luke, you have a bob? I mean, you have a ding dong, Lucas?
I would give it to anybody throwing a fit over Angel Reese and her trash talking yesterday in the Women's National Championship game. The hand in the face celebration to John Cena that Caitlin Clark did against South Carolina in the Final Four that she has done in several moments throughout the course of the season, pointing to the ring finger when LSU won its first ever national championship. Everybody loves it when Kobe Bryant does it. Everybody loves it when all these athletes talk trash and they got that dog in them, and that's who you want on your team. So I saw nothing wrong with how Angel Reese handled herself yesterday. By the way, her and Caitlin Clark dapped each other up after the game. She's on ESPN's set post-game talking about, hey, Caitlin Clark, a hell of a player, but we felt a little bit disrespected. So, yes, anybody throwing a fit over Angel Reese would be my ding-dong of the week.
That is definitely where I was going. Well said there, Lucas. Yeah, it was, I don't know if it's just because we just look at women's sports a little bit differently of the trash talking and everything else. But I didn't see anything wrong with it at all. I had more issue probably throughout the game as much as I love their head coach there at LSU because she is a hoot. Man, she's all over the place, man. One time I thought she actually bumped the referee, and I don't know if it was kind of accidentally.
Kim Mulkey?
But
Yes.
Yeah, Mulkey, Kim Mulkey. And I'm just like, man, I had more like you can't be. Hey, calm down. Her antics are hilarious to me, man. And I even went back and looked. I said, man, I remember her. And when I used to watch the Final Four every year growing up, and when she used to play for Louisiana Tech,
She played for Leon Barmore.
yeah.
Tech
And I was like, that's how I remember that. She was somewhat similar to that because she kept looking. I'm like, man, I know that's her. And I never
Yep.
had looked her up. I just knew she was a great coach. She was at Baylor and everything else. So, yeah. I love her. I love the outfit. She's funny. But, boy, that was a little, the way the referees were calling things, refereeing was absolutely horrendous. It was horrible. I don't think it would have changed the outcome, but it was bad. They did not just let them play.
37 fouls.
Oh,
Yeah,
37.
It was just
T on
man, come
Clark.
Don't make it about the referees. But
Yep.
Jiminy Crickets. That was I was all in. So, but yeah, LSU got hot and from 3 and all over the place, and they put up over 100 points. I wonder how many times they put up over 100 points in that season. I bet you it may have been only one other time. I don't maybe depend on the opponent, but I just they got hot and it was just lights out. It was never really a contest, but yeah, Clark. I mean, you could say whatever you want to say about Angel Reese and Clark, but Clark is a bad mama jamma. You just got to give her props. I think she should have. I'm sure. Yeah, she won the Player of the Year, but it was. She won to win a landslide. She's just that good. And when you're that good, all eyeballs on you, and they're going to try to do everything they can to stop you and get in your head. And basketball, women's basketball, has gotten to that level. So I had no issue really at all. This is always a huge debate for me, and that is when it's a championship game or when the crowd takes over the court or field or what have you. How do you manage through, and I saw this on social media, through teams shaking hands? That's always kind of a big issue because you got to let the other team celebrate in the moment.
Right.
So if I'm the other team, I'm like, well, do I sit here and wait till a little bit till that's over and then shake hands, or do you just leave the court? It could look bad on your part. It could look bad on their part because they're celebrating. So to me, in championship games are where the game, the crowd just storms the field in a football game or what have you, even in a basketball game. Do you just leave so you're protecting yourself from safety? Depending on, it was a national championship game, so I'm sure they had things up there. But, man, that's always a weird thing for me.
Yeah, I agree.
And how that should be done. I don't know. If you have any questions on that or thoughts, please give us a call, 737-1045, The Zone. I mean, Mickey, what are your thoughts on it? You worked in the college level as an associate of an AD. How should that be facilitated in a championship game?
You know what's crazy? I was watching the Iowa kids just stand and wait. They didn't know what to do.
Right. I mean, so to me, that should be a conversation that your coaches should have what to do. Because I wouldn't be upset if they just left the court. Like, hey, man, they beat us. They're celebrating. So I'm supposed to just sit here and watch them celebrate?
Right.
Some coaches say, yeah, so we get back here next year. I don't know if I want to do that. I want to go back in the locker room and sulk for a little bit. I don't want to be doing that in front of people.
Well, eventually, because Kim Mulkey celebrating, was emotional, and eventually she ran over, jumped in line at the scorer's table, and I saw her shake the hand of the Iowa coach. So they got that business.
I saw her talk to Clark, too, yeah.
Yeah, but that took a while to get to that. I mean, I would think it could just be an understood thing. Like you said, students rush the court, things get crazy. After a championship, the kids who lost, they won't go shake anybody's hand. The kids who won, they want to celebrate.
Yeah.
I would agree, like if the two coaches looked at each other like, salute.
Yeah.
Or if they went and shook hands down
they
to each
did
other.
press conferences,
Right.
I don't know what's the right thing, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't, if they don't shake hands, I think I'm cool with that in that moment.
But if if the losing team stands there and waits and then they leave, everybody gets on them. Oh, that poor sports, they just stormed off the court. Yeah. I would think it would be fine if somebody just said, hey, let's make this universal. You lose the championship game. If the coaches want to find each other real quick, everybody else just going about your business. You can pay your respects like you said in the post-game presser.
Right, post-game presser, or watch this. New era, new time, social media.
Sure.
Whether you're thanking your own fans and the team you played, but I know it's not the same. But
some people even go to the locker room afterwards, stick their head in and go, hey, congratulations to you guys.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, but you don't have to stand around on the court. I agree. It was awkward.
Yeah. My man, Nick Ewing here, Cheryl Swoops will always be the GOAT to him. Naturally, she had all the records that Clark has broken at every level. If I'm wrong on some of that, let me know, Lucas. But as much as I love some Cheryl Swoops back in the day, man, Clark is the real deal. And she has one more year.
Or two if she takes her COVID
Right,
year.
right.
But
course.
one for sure.
Yeah. She's got to come out there. I mean, man, So, yeah, she was she is definitely one of the best lady women's basketball players I've seen in a while.
Most points by an individual in an
most
NCAA
assists.
tournament in history.
Most assists too, right? I thought that was it. She's Swoops is bad, but man, I think she got it, man. She's the modern era with the step back. I mean, it's almost like she's unstoppable.
Yep.
And I know Swoops was too, but man, seeing her do it, it was just like, woo. I mean, man.
She outscored the Iowa football team their whole season before they even got to the championship game. I remember seeing Caitlin Clark.
I could be a ding-dong, but that one there, man, she is, woo. You got to give her props.
Absolutely. Let's get our man Eric in here, share his. You want to share a ding-dong with us, 615-737-1045. What's up, Eric?
Hey, guys, I got a couple of ding-dongs real quick about Caitlin Clark. I've heard reports that NIL money, she'll probably get way more in her next year than she will probably in the WNBA.
I think she gives a lot of her NIL stuff to charity, by the way, already. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I got a couple of ding-dongs. My first one has to go back, and they're both from last week. Russell Westbrook, who during the Memphis Grizzlies game tried to get a fan ejected for calling him Russell Westbrook. The security guards took him back, and actually they decided, no, we're not ejecting him. So they brought him back. I mean, unless it's racial or talk about somebody's family or something like that, I think sometimes players are overly sensitive. So you got to kind of put your big boy pants on. Guys, my other ding-dong has got to go to the Dodgers fan that tried to propose to his girlfriend by going out onto the field. I heard reports and saw video that he was drinking shots with his girlfriend before the game, several hours before the game. And to me, look, he got exactly what he deserved. I know a lot of people saying you shouldn't have done that to him, But the thing was, he did not clear this with the Dodger organization. He just walked onto the field.
Oh.
Unless you do that, maybe in between innings or during the seventh inning stretch, if you don't clear it with the organization, you get what you get when you step out on that field. Guys, those are my two ding-dongs. Y'all take care, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah, that guy got.
Oh, you saw this? I did not
saw
see this.
video.
Right.
He was quickly met with resistance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Tyler mentioned that in the Zone TV chat. By the way, you can always leave a ding dong in there for us. Tyler said 2 ding dongs of the week. Anthony Rendon for grabbing a fan and throwing a punch at him for calling him a B dash 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 dash.
What?
Yeah. Then number 2 ding dong, he said the Dodgers fan that went on the field to propose to his girlfriend and got laid out by security for going on the field. Apparently, she did say yes.
If she said yes, then I disagree with making him a ding dong because that is a fantastic proposal story. It is way cooler to go onto the field by your own volition, take a knee, and propose, and then get wiped out by a security guard in the outfield than it is to clear it with the Dodgers and put it on the Jumbotron or something. They're going to have a great proposal story for the rest of their marriage.
He's going to have like a torn labrum and a concussion. But yeah, I guess so. Whatever you say, Lucas.
Oh, they roughed him up.
They got him.
Nick says he was
got
on
him.
a knee with the ring out, and like the video is just showing him on a knee in the outfield. Somebody's shooting it from the stands, and then the security guard just comes into the frame and wipes him out.
Oh man,
flattens
my
him.
man Nick said that they gave a great rendition of the Dodger security of Blaine the Hitman taking him out.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he wasn't running or anything. He was on a knee proposing, and then the guy came in and just blindsided him.
Oh man, come on. Was it that extreme that he needed to do that? He was on a knee. Like, was he really threatening like that?
Right.
But if you're a ballpark security guard like that, that's your moment, right? Somebody gets onto the outfield.
You've been living.
That's your moment.
Yeah,
like,
you have the green light. You have the green light to do a takedown in front of thousands of people. So I don't blame either party in this scenario.
I saw Ozzy at the Mid-South Coliseum in 1986, and Jake E. Lee, who was his guitar player at the time, was getting down, and a fan got himself on the stage. And that dude probably still is not right for the pounding that he took by the 12 roadies and security guys who raced to pound him. And in those days, like, you just pounded people with no repercussions. Now he'd have a lawsuit probably against him. In those days, he just probably left with a few less teeth than he started with. They pounded that rascal.
All right, I'm going to say this. We can't use common sense here based off what you just said, Lucas, about the security guard. That was his moment. What? Wait a minute now. Common sense says this guy's not a threat. I'm going to walk over here and say, hey, man, you came out here illegally. Let's do this the right way. And then, after he finished, then, take him off the field. Escort him off. Like, okay, was it the referee's moment or was it Caitlin Clark's moment when she threw the ball behind her back out of bounds, or when Kim Mulkey bumped the referee? See, but we have to use common sense to a certain extent and say, hey, you know what? That was intentional. She was excited. It wasn't like she was trying to bump me. It just happened when we crossed paths. I don't think Clark was really trying to do anything, crazy with throwing the ball behind her back, but the team had already been forewarned. Common sense says, I think we should let that pass. See, common sense. Like, there's rules and then there's common sense.
Yep.
And you go, okay, now I get it for fans out here running around and acting crazy. He's a threat. Okay, that's different. But this guy's up here proposing. He did something illegally. No different than anybody else trying to, break into a stadium. We're not going to mention when it's not a game. It's common sense. You don't go tackle them like right there. Like, okay, come on, man.
But I think
Let's don't do this.
The difference is I think everybody wins in this scenario because the security guard got to tee off on somebody. And you know that every security guard in Major League Baseball is waiting for that moment for a fan to run onto the outfield. And
man.
the fan that was proposing, it is far cooler to get tackled by a security guard after proposing than for a guy to come
so he
up.
did wait after he finished.
Well, yeah, he was on his knee for a good bit there. Yeah, he was on his knee for a while. And
Okay, let him
he got
finish
the
up.
proposal off, and then the guy wiped him out. For me, that's far cooler and a way better story than, hey, man, you gotta get out of here.
Well, we do need to get out of here because
He
we're
got
late for this
wiped
break. Matt in Columbia wants to weigh in on Caitlin Clark. Lots of comments about Cheryl Swoops now from Nick in the Zone
I
TV
know,
chat.
man.
Pick this up on the
They
other
go
side.
leg whip me, man.
Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone, ding dong of the week. Appreciate the participation. Lots of people weighing in. A lot of Cheryl Swoop support.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, if you're young and you don't like Lucas is young, maybe you don't know Cheryl Swoops, go Google Cheryl Swoops highlights and watch her run at Texas Tech. Just watch. Blaine looked it up. We thought, was she 6 feet tall? She was 6 feet tall. Attacked the rim, had a pull-up jumper. She had everything, man. She was. Just go watch it, and you will understand what we're talking about.
That's a tough call there. In the moment, I'm going to go with Clark, but Swoops was, man, whoo. You can even go all the way back to Reggie Miller's sister.
Cheryl Miller.
Cheryl Miller, yeah. I used to be all in on the women's basketball.
Matt in Columbia wants to talk about Caitlin Clark on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. Matt, thanks for holding. What you got, man?
My question is, why would Clark want to move to the WNBA after 1 or 2 years when the average salary is $252,000 and she's making, if my understanding's right, millions in NIL? I'll hang up and listen.
Well, I don't know what the dollar figure is now. Maybe that's right. But Lucas essentially said the same thing. Now, I will say this. The WNBA has draft rules. She's too young to be drafted in the WNBA right now.
Well, yeah, this year. She can come out next year.
She can come out next year.
Yeah. From my understanding is she gives all her NIL money to charity. That's one thing. And then number two is you come to the WNBA, and I know a lot of people put her on the map now with, the Final Four and the championship game, but she'll have probably endorsements out the wazoo. So that's where she's going to make up that kind of money that you can't probably make. I don't know what she's making at the NIL level.
Millions probably be a stretch.
That might be a stretch. Millions would be a lot for anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
You think she can get $1 million endorsement deal from with maybe a shoe to commercials? I feel like when you go to that pro level, someone of her ilk, which is the best, I think she will make more just because of the platform to give you a little bit more. And some of those ladies, women, they also play overseas too to kind of compensate for some of that. But
they play 2 seasons, like you said.
Yeah, I think she'll get endorsements deal. That's where she's going to make her money. So, yeah, never know, though.
Yeah, here's the report. ESPN reported Clark made at least $1 million from her NIL deals prior to signing with Nike last October, so that's pushed her over $1 million. Jeez. But you're right, Blaine. She's going to become such a familiar face. There'll be companies who are aligned with her team, whoever she gets drafted by, or business partners of the WNBA who say, if it's McDonald's or whoever, hey, we're going to put her on billboards and we're going to she's going to do fine no matter what.
Watch this. I'm about to get y'all. This is going to set it apart. She's going to get her own shoe. Oh. That's what's going to happen. And she's going to say, Lucas, you want to wear my shoes? Yeah, you can. Yeah, I just give you some. I only wore them one time. Yeah. When she gets her own shoe, then it's like a whole nother level. Now she's signing a 5-year, I don't know, $40 million deal or whatever the women are getting at that level. It's going to be a massive deal. I don't know if it's that big, but it's going to be pretty big. So I think that's the reason why. A lot of different avenues to make millions of dollars, which she's probably making, somewhat as you mentioned, maybe just only $1 million.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's stories as well, like you said, about her having certain deals where she doesn't get money, the charity gets it or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, well, she was fun to watch. I caught several of those games and enjoyed the heck out of it. I love watching her play.
Yeah, she's fascinating. I'm all in. Yeah, she's fun to watch. She's like unstoppable. She can handle the rock. She can shoot from 3. She can penetrate. She can assist. There's nothing that she's not good at. And her basketball IQ is off the charts. So she hits it from all the different angles. So, man, hats off to her. I mean, just think. They did a great job defensively. She still got 30. What? Yeah, they did a good job, and she got 30. So she's just, she's on another level. What was the lady's name that was guarding her? No, her last name was Morris. Number 45, the point guard for LSU, was guarding her a lot, but she was on her, but she just wasn't enough.
Well, ESPN reported, record viewing from these games, and, they were outdrawing NBA games for their ratings and things like that. Mm-hmm. So this was a fantastic year. And, this isn't Tennessee's an interesting state because people here have been watching Pat Summitt and the Lady Vols, and they love
Long
women's
time.
basketball. Tennessee, you don't have to sell people in Tennessee on women's basketball or the importance of it. Now, maybe in other places you do, but people here just appreciate basketball, men's or women's. But the level that the game was played at and the superstars that they have in the game now, it's opening a lot of people's eyes. Again, with the record numbers, there's more people watching than have watched. Let's do this right quick. Ken in Goodlettsville, quick question for Blaine before we take our final break of this hour. Ken, thanks for checking in.
Yeah. Hey, Blaine, I was just wondering, did you ever get a shoe contract?
Yeah, I did have a shoe contract I had one with Reebok my rookie year, and then after that I was with Nike.
Are they still out there just a little bit?
No, I didn't say I had my own shoe. I said I had a deal. I had a Nike deal where, I had to wear their gear in the NFL game. I did not have my own shoe or glove or anything like that. I was never on that level. If I did, then I'd have HOF behind my name for sure.
The one you should have had was a modern version of the Converse Tony Dorsett's that you and I both had as a kid.
Oh, I don't
even
know if that existed once I got into the league, because that was when I was in little leagues.
Boy,
that was
were
a long
the
time away.
coolest.
Maybe I could have brought them back, but that would have been really fun.
I bet it could be a cool logo, the BB on a shoe.
Oh, the Hitman?
Yeah, you
Who
come up
would
with
wear a
something
pair
good.
of Hitmans?
Yeah.
I'd rock the
BB
Hitmans
2
now.
3s or something.
Oh man, my journey was a lot different than that. Yeah. I was thankful to get the Reebok deal my rookie year. Just imagine being a last round pick. I didn't have any deal. And I was like, they didn't have deals? I mean, well, I don't have anything. So the first couple games, I didn't even have a deal. I was just wearing Reeboks because I couldn't wear Nike because I didn't have a contract with them.
Oh.
Yeah. So I wore Reebok, and then Reebok signed me for the rest of the season. And then after that, okay, this guy can actually play.
Oh.
I'm going to give you a Nike deal. Yeah, so then I had to tear my way up to a bigger Nike deal. Then naturally I got one. But yeah, so that was kind of an interesting deal. I didn't realize all the guys, until I'm in the league, that they had contracts, the elite players with what they were wearing.
Right.
I thought you could just wear whatever.
So did you just go to the equipment room and you're like, hey, I need cleats. And they're like, well, you can't wear Nikes. You don't have a deal. Here's you some Reeboks.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I wore Reeboks my rookie year. Never wore Reeboks before in my life.
Did anybody else provide cleats for the league then? Did you have another choice? Do you remember?
I don't recall.
See, I don't think Pony was around anymore or Converse was around anymore.
No.
Boy.
Yeah. But I was super excited when I got that Nike contract after that first year, though.
Oh, I was strutting around. They probably gave you some stuff to wear.
I was jacked.
Oh.
Yeah, I was jacked. Then Nike was like, you can't spat over the Nike sign. What? I love my shoe. No, you cannot. We must show the Nike sign. So here's what you get creative, and this is still true today. You see them with the spat to keep your shoes on, because they come off. They have to marker in the Nike symbol. Mm-hmm. So that was a whole nother. I got a marker it in. I'm like, man, dang. So guess what I did? I said, okay, I'm gonna trick that. I start wearing volleyball shoes on the turf there in the Astrodome. Volleyball shoes, because I had some get up. I wore some volleyball. You know how they wrap around on the side kind of with the bottom of their shoe? Yeah, so I would wear those.
Okay.
Ooh, I felt like I was flying mamma jamma with them on.
Okay, this is going to happen.
It's like this old man stuff.
We're taking a break, and we're finding a picture of the Hitman in volleyball shoes.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll put that thing out on all of our social media.
95, 94.
That's about to happen. Ron Slay's about to happen. He's coming up in hour number 2.
Oh, I know you know about that.
Or at least on the show.
Sly Ride.
It is 2:03. Good afternoon from the Superbook.com Sports Desk. I'm Lucas Panzica. The national championship game in the men's NCAA tournament is tonight. San Diego State looking for their first title, taking on UConn in search of its fifth title. Game happening in Houston. They will tip it off at 8:30. You can hear the Westwood One coverage right here on The Zone. The Preds playoff push continues tonight at the Dallas Stars. Puck drop is at 7:30. Preds currently 5 points back of Winnipeg with 2 games in hand for that final playoff spot in the Western Conference. And the Atlanta Braves, after a weekend series win over the Nationals, they are at the St. Louis Cardinals tonight, first pitch at 8:45. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday to you. Ron Slay is going to join us in a couple minutes. We'll get into one of the last basketball game of the year tonight, just like you planned it when the season started. San Diego State versus UConn. Although UConn started out great, then they hit a rough patch. 4 seed versus a 5 seed. Never happened. I will be very curious to see what the TV ratings look like with, no Duke, no Kentucky, no North Carolina, no Michigan. It's not now UConn's a blue blood. They were just low seeded this year, but this their 5th championship to play for in the last how many years?
I'm tuning in just to see what happens because it's the national championship game.
Me too. San Diego State.
I think it might be a little surprised. I don't know.
You guys remember the COVID year?
I just hope it's not a blowout.
Me too. Do you guys remember they won 30 games the year the tournament got canceled?
Oh, yeah.
And people thought they had a legit chance to win it all. Yeah. So I was really wanting FAU. I don't know why. I mean, I'm from a group of 5 school. I like to see them do well. So, technically San Diego State would be that same thing, a group of 5 level
Mountain West, right?
Mountain West basketball team.
Yeah.
So it's cool. But as the game ended, I thought, this is a heck of an opportunity for them because they had an opportunity pulled out from under them a few years ago, and I was still happy. You make the Final Four if you're FAU. That's unbelievable what they did.
I heard their coach only makes for FAU $350 or something, and then the AD said they're going to sign him to $1 million contract.
If I was him, where was that million before?
Yeah. Well, we collected it by every round we won.
Yeah. Well, they will get money. They'll get money. Now, it takes a while to get all those payoffs, the payouts from the tournament shares, and you share them with your conference. So the Conference USA is going to get are they in Conference USA or the American?
No, they're in Conference USA.
Conference USA. They're going to get a buttload of money, that conference, from those shares. But, yeah, I had a buddy who was telling me he was in television and he worked his whole contract and he made like $28,000 and he got an offer for $60 in another market. And so the general manager said, without even asking anybody, well, what if we gave you a raise to 45 here? Would you stay? And he's like, no, because you could have been paying me 45 this whole time and you paid me 28. Now, this was a long time ago.
Right.
But he said that's when I learned kind of how things were in TV and in life. But looking forward to this time. Both of these teams play good defense. I mean, they both play defense. UConn has scored more, obviously, than San Diego State in this tournament. And UConn's been blowing people out. And San Diego State seems to they get behind in every game, and then they find a way to come back. They have this They do the thing where they clamp down on them for 12 minutes and, score 15-2 or whatever, and then wind up holding on and winning the game.
San Diego State reminds me, based off how they really play defense, of Tennessee.
Yep.
So this is what you envision if you're talking about a defensive team. I just think they're a little more consistent on offense.
Yep.
So we shall see how this matches up because there's a part of me, man, UConn can beat you in any form or fashion. So San Diego State can only beat you if they kind of ugly this up a little bit. You know, it's a low-scoring game, and they're going to play half court. Then they got a shot. So I'm going to just see contrasting styles and see what happens with UConn and how they get situated in kind of the half court because eventually you're going to have to will to that probably. And can they just put up enough points? And I think they will. I think that UConn, man, they got some dudes, man. Man, it looks like the UConn of old, man. Dare I say back in the Ray Allen days? They used to always be in it. That's how they look.
Well, for a while, they were winning it like every 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
I mean, they had an unbelievable run. So, them getting back to the title game, I think they're 7.5-point favorites. UConn hasn't allowed more than 65 in a game in this tournament, and they're not even considered to be the great defense that San Diego is. And they've scored 80-plus 3 times in the tournament.
Dang. Is this the – I'm just now – it just hit me. I could be wrong. Lucas could check on this. He probably knows anyway. Is this the third time? Are they the only university to get to the finals with their third different coach? I'm just not thinking about it because, man, I'm trying to – I don't know if any other school has done that. Usually it's the same coach if you're talking about Duke, Kentucky, all the Blue Bloods. But this is their third time in with – I mean, not the third time, but the third coach that's made it to the championship, isn't it?
Yeah, Kentucky certainly would have had
Did they have
3 or more because Adolph Rupp all those years, and then Tubby Smith winning the national championship in the 90s, and
Tubby.
Calipari getting it done.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the first, but that is remarkable. If they win tonight, 3 national championships in the 21st century with 3 different head coaches, and it'll be their 5th title as a program, which would push them ahead of Kansas, which would tie them with Duke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right? You're talking about the bluest of bloods.
Yes.
Right. They are in that conversation, no doubt. And I think they get forgotten on that. Yeah.
And it's crazy. They don't get mentioned like that. But I want to say they won like their first 13 or something this year. Then they went on a losing streak and just kind of got left for dead after that. But then they came back and started winning again.
In the preseason rank, well, either one of these teams ranked?
I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Boy, that's a good question.
Ooh. I want to say they weren't. I just didn't hear a lot of buzz about San Diego State for sure. And then UConn. Then they started off like gangbusters. But I wasn't. That's all when football's still going on. So I could have missed that for sure. But, yeah, man, I'm going to still tune in. I think the rate, just because it's a championship game, people are still going to tune in now. How long and everything else. That's why I said I want to be a competitive game. People want to watch a competitive game for a national championship. They don't want to see blowouts. So as long as that, I'm going to be all in.
It's a late tip.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for our East Coast friends.
8:20, right, our time? 9:20?
Yeah, it'll probably start 9:30 or 8:30 our time.
Okay, here you go. You guys know who was number 1 preseason was North Carolina.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't even make it.
Gonzaga number 2, Houston number 3, Kentucky number 4. Then Baylor and Kansas tied at 5. Duke 7, UCLA 8, Creighton 9, Arkansas 10. That's the top 10. Tennessee was 11th. So let's see. San Diego State was 19.
Oh, okay. And
No UConn.
No UConn.
None.
Wow.
Texas Tech, Dayton, Illinois,
I got
Michigan.
half of that right. I knew
Yeah.
either one of them.
Well, San Diego State was 19. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
so
like
they knew that.
anybody was.
Yeah, but they still thought they were, going into the season that they're going to be at the top. I mean, top 20, top 25, man, that's pretty good. And they kind of showed it and got better.
Yep, no UConn. So no one saw them coming. Like I said, I have to go back and look, but at one time I looked at their record, and they'd had a really good run to start the season, and they just had a bad period where they were down and lost a bunch of games. And then they picked it up, and from there, I think they won all the way to the Big East Championship game and then lost to – who did they lose to? Marquette? Who did they lose to in the Big East Championship?
I don't know who they lost.
Yeah, Marquette was red hot coming into the tournament.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking 3 weeks ago now, so, of course, all my memories have been erased. But, yeah, UConn had a good run down the stretch, but anyway, ought to be fun tonight. It's the last college basketball game, so you're kind of just marking sports off the calendar as they go. Now, baseball just started, so you can lean into baseball. You can lean into NASCAR. Here's the other thing that's about to happen. The Titans and all the NFL teams are about to start all their off-season program stuff. So we'll be heavy into that. They'll be doing their OTAs, and they'll bring the rookies in, and they draft everybody, 3 weeks from Thursday?
Dang, that's crazy.
Is the
Drafts
draft
in 3 weeks.
Let's see. Here's the Titans' off-season dates. And I know we got to get into this trade stuff. We can do that in the last segment of the show because we got Ron Slay coming up, potential trade stuff. Off-season workouts for the Titans, May 22, 23, May 25, 30 through 31, June the 2nd, and June 12 through 15. Mandatory minicamp is June 16 through 18. And I guess the first day it says of the off-season program for them is April 17. So there'll be
Oh, well. They must, yeah.
So there'll be plenty of NFL stuff to get to as we go on that. All right, let's do this. Let's get to our man Ron Slade coming up next. We'll ask his thoughts on the tournament. We'll ask him his thoughts maybe on the women's game last night. What do you think? I think he probably enjoyed the trash talking, if I feel like I know Ron Slade.
No, he wasn't a trash talker at all, was he?
Oh, my gosh. You know he was enjoying
I want
last
to know
night.
who he's giving the headband to
Well, maybe he
on the
should.
trash talking.
Let's do that. We'll ask him that and more next. Blaine and Mickey
Ooh,
1045 The Zone.
The whip right
What's a
here.
special day in here?
Yeah.
And Ron
it's
Slade.
it's firsties time.
It's been way
Firsties
overdue.
time.
He's
I'm
getting
a beginner.
getting his headphones on, got his Awaken 180 big sack of low-cal snacks or something with him over there.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, listen,
Hey.
I saw Hitman dropping it. I said, y'all ain't going to leave me. Him, Big Moan, Buck, all them dropping. I got to get on it, too.
Yeah,
So I
to
got
be
on.
on the Blaine and Mickey show, I know you got your intro when you go on 3HL, but for the Blaine and Mickey show, I know we're gonna put some work on it. Before we go, give Lucas what you want to come on to when you come on the Blaine and Mickey show.
I'm in the building.
Oh, that okay. That,
Yeah, I want that.
Oh, you still
I want
okay.
the original.
Oh, the
What
original.
you want to hear?
No, whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Give me the original, the OG that Rick,
The OG.
that Gordion came up with. You don't even know what it is. You just shaking your head like
looking
you're
for
paying.
it. Well, we'll find it beforehand, man. But we
Kills
just
me.
ride,
kind of
excited for
energy?
the sleigh ride to
What
come
kind
on
of
up
energy
in
is
here. Come in here dunking and everything
Hey,
on
man,
people.
I'm glad to finally be in here. First of all, y'all conversation was
I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
That's
I'm in
the
the
original.
building. I'm in the building.
that's the OG. Yeah.
I'm in the
It's
building.
that beat drop. Yeah, that's what get it going. It's like T-Rex coming out of the
T-Rex. He didn't get caught on fire, though, did he?
No, you gotta get on out of there. Get on out of there. Stomp him down here, man.
Yeah,
Dudes,
man.
You brought up, so real quick, before y'all ask anything, y'all were talking about the women's game and how you paved the way.
Uh-huh.
The people that did it, you brought up the name, man. Cheryl Miller. Like Cheryl Miller set
back
the
in the
tone.
day.
Yeah, she set the tone. The Women of Troy. Like if you haven't seen that documentary, go watch it. Like that was different. Oh, check that. And you gonna know everybody in. You gonna be like,
well, I only know
all
him
them
because
play
of Reggie Miller and because I was cool with him. And then he always used to talk about how his sister used to beat him.
Yeah.
And that's what made him tough.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He's like, yeah, man.
It's gonna trip you out.
My sister was the real deal.
And watch when you see everybody with Lisa Liz, all them on the same team and won back-to-back chips. So when they talk about and then you like y'all said, Cheryl Swoops, that's another one that was different. Like
She was different.
man, Carolyn Aldridge that went to Glencliff, ended up playing at Tennessee State. She was Shamiko Holtzclaw before I got to see Shamiko Holtzclaw.
Oh, wow.
Then I saw Shamiko Holtzclaw and I was like, oh.
Uh-oh, I'm about to ask you.
This
You just made me think of
different.
something. Who was the best player to come out of UT's women's program?
Oh, boy.
Your best. You just said Coach, then I'm thinking, okay, Candace.
Candace,
Yeah, right.
Tamika.
See, there's a laundry list. This is a tough one.
You know what?
I had no idea I was going to ask you that, but that is a tough question.
I'm gonna have to go. If you just talking about pure talent, like give them the ball, get out. Shamiko Holtzclaw, like it ain't even. It might not even be close. Wow. Her and O'Brien, like Candace get busy, especially in a one-on-one game. But Shamika would be able to pull her out on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Tamika that would have been a dog. They might have got to fighting. That game might have not. that game would have never finished. I'm telling you. Like we used to let Nikki McCrae's another one. Like Nikki McCrae was my freshman year and sophomore year. That's when they were still coming back. We used to play in the old Stokely arena. We didn't even play in Thompson Bowling. We up there in Stokely. We'll be in a hot box. Man, I'm talking about a hot box. The girls, Tamika,
they come in there and
Nikki
try to
McCrae,
put it on y'all.
Tamika, them the only ones we would let hoop with us, and they would hold their own. Like, now don't give me that foul. Roll the ball back out of bounds, get back on them. Like, okay, I see what y'all talking about. Okay.
Well, that's how most of the girls they playing with guys all the
That's
time,
how
and
they
that's
get
how
better
they
anyway.
get.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So,
how they get great. Well, speaking of, they might have got to fighting. I mean, theoretically in practice, going against each other. Really, you're talking about talking trash.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about. Everything that was going on with Angel and, Clark and all that, head wagging and, ring on the finger.
Yeah.
Kind of take us through the mindset of a basketball player and how that plays into all of that. And maybe people are just not used to seeing women on this kind of stage doing it like that. And it's kind of just new for us to see it. But I was cool with it on either side of that.
That's what it is, man. It's a bigger light on it. It's shining a bigger light. They've been talking trash like this. Like I learned some of my best trash talking from growing up at Tennessee State, playing against the people like Darlene Jackson, Carolyn Aldridge, Coach Teresa Phillips.
Yep.
Like, she going to talk trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, the women's game has been doing this. And then I remember going into the gym and I was getting some shots up my freshman year at Tennessee. Samika Randall was in there. And she's shooting on the other end. She finished her workout. I'm coming in because we got practice in a minute. I'm getting my shots up. She was like, I see all that talking you doing. I was like, man, that's just being me. She said, just make sure you keep it up. So she talking trash to me, you know what I mean, with the challenge. Like, I'm bringing it every game. So if you going to do that, the bar is set. You got to continue to do that to year in and year out, every game. So I'm like, okay, I'm watching them, and that's how they do. It's just now with this light shine on it because of the skill level advancing. And it's not just one anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, at first it would be like, okay, I'm going to tune in Diana Taurasi. Okay, all right, she's good. Sue Bird. Okay, Candace Parker. Shamika Holmes. It's one or two. This time, man, you had 5 and 5 on either side. The big girl from Iowa, she was getting busy. Like, getting busy. The other guard, I forgot her name, but left open, kept on knocking threes. Then Caitlin Clark. Then you look at LSU side, Alexis Morris. She 21-9. Jasmine, I forgot her name, came off the bench and lit it up.
Oh, number 2.
Straight three. Yeah. Something like, you got people, and we're not even talking about the stars. So when you get the hoopla around the game, you got to have something to sell it. Like Dawn Staley and them all did that. That was it. So it's a part of the game. The trash talking, the competitive level, and the higher you go, it's the more talking is going to happen because you got to be up there and it's a pecking order established. If you're not willing to get through the pecking order, then you're just going to get ran over. Now, a lot of times you do it with your game, but you see with Caitlin Clark, even you can't see me.
Okay, right.
She's doing that to Louisville and everybody. So that's a part of it, man. And I love it. I love it. I love that they're getting the light shined on. I asked Alexis
because it brings
Hornbuckle.
attention to the women's game.
Without question.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
We're talking about it right now.
Man, I'm playing pickup with the guys when Bruce Pearl was there. We just finished playing pickup. Candace Parker come walking through the gym. Ryan Childress, or I don't know if Ryan was a walk-on or not, but he was there, about 6'9". Candace walked by, and she snatched the ball out of his hand. He snatched the ball back. She was like, I'll dunk on you in here. I'm like, ooh. What? No, wait a minute. No, you won't. No, you won't. You know, man, I'm gassing. No, you won't. She took the ball. He got up under the rim, and she took off and dunked on him. Rolled the ball to him and kept on going. Like, they've been doing it. It's just now light on it.
There you have it. Ron Slay is in the building here on the Blaine and Mickey for the first time ever. Mickey, what you got? Now we're going to go into, the men's a little bit or whatever Mickey wants to go into now and kind of touch on that a little bit.
Well, I wanted to bring this up. Now, you played certainly in a power conference school at Tennessee, but for anybody who doesn't believe there's parity in basketball, look at who made the Final Four.
Yeah.
And I know people like brand names and big names, but when you start the season and you got, all these maybe group of 5 teams or lesser funds. They don't have the same. But they got 5 seniors.
Yeah.
They got 3 4-year guys and a 5-year guy. Right. Basketball has gotten to the point where a lot of teams have hope to have fantastic seasons, maybe more than we've ever seen before.
Yep. And you look at it, and the reason being, you get, for one, you got the super seniors going on with the COVID. Outside of that, you got the NIL that's kind of drawing a couple of guys back. Then you got the guys that are one and done in the blue blood schools that are one and done, and they both. So you're left with an empty pantry. You know what I mean? Everybody's not being Coach Kyle and bringing in 5 All-Americans next year. So it's hard to kind of incorporate those guys with the transfer portal. So you may have a team that you like, man, when we get back next year, we really going to be good. But then you get to the summer and everybody boat.
Yep.
You got 2 or 3 guys leave. You got to try to fill that void. The teams that can stay together the longest or gel quicker, they're going to have a better opportunity. That's what you see in San Diego State. You saw it in FAU. Like, you see these guys who have sophomores and juniors listed, but mind you, they've been on that team already. They used their COVID year. So they're really juniors and seniors. So they've been together. So it's good, man. It's good for the game. I think it also, the competition of it is what you're going to watch. You know what I mean? When they go out there and the level that they play at, is it up to that upper echelon where you looked at Derrick Rose when they played Mario Chalmers and them, and it might not come down to a buzzer beater like that, but are you going to have a competitive basketball game that you're watching? I'm talking about play for play, or is UConn going to run out and get up 20, and then we're just going to be sitting there holding our hands? Then it's going to be ugly. But I don't believe we will, man. I think San Diego State going to fight.
Do you think, and this goes back to a couple of days ago, do you think FAU was misseeded? Do you think they were seeded incorrectly?
I think you're seated appropriately because of the Power 5 conference.
Okay.
I think that's what it comes down to. Like, who's traveling? Who's traveling? Like, you want Tennessee in there? You want on the verge Arkansas, Mississippi State, or you want FAU who won their conference? I'm gonna have to take the Power 5.
Sure.
I know that fan base gonna travel, especially whatever region they're in. I think that plays a part of it. But you also, guess what? When you get to the tournament, you get to prove if you were seeded wrong anyway. So and there's number momentum. You know what I mean? Motivation for you. You know. So I'm a coach. I'm gonna play on that all day long. Man, these people don't even think we're supposed to be here. They rolled that all the way through until you weren't. You know, and that was a hell of a shot by Butler to knock them on out.
And that's what I want to add to that. Does that momentum hitting a game-winning shot carry over into this next game, the championship game?
No question, Blaine. No question. Like, it's especially when you're living in the moment. You know, and that's what these teams are in their tournament. You're in the moment. You heard Jay Wright talk about it. He was like, man, the easiest part of getting ready for the national championship is you don't have to do no scout for Sunday. Everybody just get to rest. You're the only two teams. You're not looking ahead. You're not looking behind because after this, it's over. So in this particular case, Butler hitting that shot, most definitely. And it wasn't the big scores. Tramel and Bradley wasn't even on the floor.
Right.
So it was out. Get the stop. It's on you. Get it done. So that confidence boost right there. And then to knock the shot down. Oh, man, we see it all the time.
When he let it go, did you knew it was flush?
Man, no, I didn't. I was like,
you did?
Because when I was like, man,
because he looked up at the clock or something.
Yeah, he did, and I thought he was gonna pick his dribble up. When he crossed over and got to the baseline, it looked like he was about to pick it up to pass it, and he kept his dribble. I was like,
he kept it alive.
This
keep
is
the dribble
good.
alive.
He may know something, and that's that mature guy. You know what I'm saying? Not that freshman or that sophomore that hasn't been in that situation. One dribble pull up, you work on it all day in the gym.
And he flushed it. Now, this is what the people been waiting for. We want to hear the sleigh ride hitting the game winner. Take us through the moment when you were, how old you were, where you were at. Take us through a game. Even if it was like 5 seconds, it was the last shot that was made to win it.
So one that jumps out immediately to me, man, probably is when I played pro. I was overseas, and we were playing Siena. They were like Siena, Montepaschi, Siena. They had Sean Stonerook, Terrell McIntyre. People remember Romaine Sato, Joe Forte that played at Carolina. They had they wasn't even supposed to have this team put together. I mean, like Big Benjamin Easy. Like, they had money to pay under the table. They were paying for passports. They had 7 Americans on their team. You're only supposed to have 2.
2, right?
Oh. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm
the
like,
rule.
what are you doing?
Rule, huh?
Man,
Joe Forte was like, hey, man, I'm Italian.
Oh, man, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Forte. You see the tay? Like, man. But you look at it, and we were like, man, they were like Golden State. They had won 3 back-to-back chips. You know what I mean? They rolling. We're a stumbling block. Man, they come to our place, and we down 1. We go up, get a shot. Randolph Childress shoots the ball.
Randolph
Childress. He misses
He's going to drop that name.
That's my guy, man. Misses it. I get the offensive rebound, get ready to put it back up. I'm fouled with like 0.2 seconds. Going to the line to shoot 2.
This is that dream come true. You've been waiting for this moment, right?
That's it.
You've been practicing.
As a matter of fact, we wasn't down 1. We were tied. It was a tie game. So I get to the line, and this is the first time I ever felt pressure. And I don't feel pressure. I crave it, man. I get to the line, the first free throw, he throw me the ball, and I actually start seeing little spots. Like, dude, I'm like,
your legs start. You're like,
So I'm a body Cooper. I can't see it,
Oh,
man.
man.
I shoot the first one and miss it short. I said, oh, this ain't, nope. I walk away from the line. I walk all the way to half court. The referee telling me to come out. I'm like, hey, man, I'm on my way. What you going to do? You know what I mean? So I get back up there and knock the next one down, and we ended up winning to beat them. You know what I mean? Go to the playoffs. It was a big-time game, but that was big time. It was huge.
Kind of take us through for all those who have been in those moments or may be in the moment. What made you relax? Besides all the time you've been practicing it to go to that line and hit those free throws, what calmed you back down and got you back to focus?
Routine. When I walked away from the line, I said, man, just do what you've been doing. And I always, especially when I turned pro, I used to shoot 100 free throws at the end of practice every single day. Every single day. Didn't miss one. So I think my worst I ever shot was probably 88 for 100. You know what I'm saying? Usually I'd be 92, 96. But I'm shooting with another shooter. And I always shot with a shooter. Because that helped me. I was like, this man can knock it down.
Competent, yeah.
I'm just going to watch him. And I'm going to do, I ain't going to change my shot that much, but man, he's shooting a high clip, and I'm going to do like him. So that was the thing, man, getting into the routine of what you do, take my breaths, take my forward dribble, spin the ball, and I'm going straight up. Make sure I got my elbow tucked. I'm going straight up, and I'm knocking it down every single time. Like, I just thought that.
Yeah,
I thought that every time.
About it.
Yeah.
Ron Slay giving us the rundown on how he was hitting game winners. I guess now you got to break down the game now, the championship.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
San Diego State and UConn.
So this is what I think. I think, man, I picked UConn to win. I did pick these two after the Final Four was set to play in the championship. I just think San Diego State, man, if they can get the big fella, I'm be a little biased. We got a big man bias. Get a big man some love. Sagono for UConn and Mensah for San Diego State. Mensah being conference defensive player of the year. He got his work cut out in a big fella like Sagono. And so Sagono, you talk about momentum carrying over to the next game. He hit them 2 threes to open up the game.
Man, well, that was crazy. Did that surprise you? It surprised. They said he only hit 9, or did they say he shot 9?
No, I think he might have shot 11 and made 7 or something weird like that, but he only made 1, only shot 1 in the tournament.
Yeah.
So when he made them 2 back-to-back and the guy didn't close out, like that, I bet they don't do it this time. Even though I know, like, I would play the percentages, but you got to have a defensive player of the year guarding him. Hopefully he can handle that situation. Bradley and Trammell got to stay out of foul trouble for San Diego State to have a chance, because this young man, Jordan Hawkins for UConn, it's the coldest thing I done seen at UConn since Ray Allen.
Ooh.
When I mean sweet jumper. You talking about,
pure, huh?
Pretty. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, man, his pull-ups, his off the dribble. He's a little taller than he looks, you know what I'm saying? So a little bit more athletic. So you got him. I'm worried about their point guard play. I'm trying to see if UConn can handle the pressure that's going to be put on them by San Diego State. If they can, and hurry up and get the ball out of their hands and get it into their sets and get it to the big or get it to Hawkins, they'll be fine. But if they're got to go to a slow-down game and they got to bring the ball up, and San Diego State is making shots and be able to get to set their defense, put that pressure on him, and he got to come up the court, I wouldn't be surprised they get a 10-second count. Like, that's how much pressure I think they're gonna have to put on them, and they got to let the referees got to let them play their game. If they let them play
Unlike
physical,
yesterday.
Yeah, they got.
Yeah, the referees got to.
That's the ding dong of the day.
Yeah,
the officials.
Yeah,
good God Almighty, man.
Play.
But it's gonna be a fun game. I do have UConn covering them.
Well, I got to finish with something crazy. This is a crazy question. I remember I used to always ask Sean Woods went to Kentucky, and the depth perception when you're playing in a stadium, a big arena like that for shooters. How hard is it to get adjusted? Why is it so different?
It's difficult because
people think, oh no, it doesn't matter. It's the goal is still 10 feet up.
Does.
No, it matters, and you got to get adjusted to that.
That's right, and you used to arenas going straight up, and then them stadiums is going like you on the stage and it's going flat, and then going up. You like, whoa! In the basket, they got that glass. You seeing through it.
You see right through it. Yeah.
So it's different for shooters too. How many shots are you gonna get? I think that plays a part in. If you're a shooter and you get 6-7 shots a game, gonna be a minute for you to adjust. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get a high volume of shots. That's why it's important to get out there and get your shots up. But you can only do that when you got the crowd full, because it all plays a part of it. So it's gonna be interesting to see guys like Hawkins and them. But they do have a game under their belt, so it should should kind of be cool. But still, man, it's that light from the semifinals to this championship final, the final game. That's a whole different light. That's a whole different. Ooh, I'm telling people, you can't, ain't nothing you can do. If you ain't never seen it or been there, you don't know nothing about it. It's going to be different.
All right. You got a score you got to predict before we let you go?
Man, give me, I'm going to go UConn 79. I'm going to go San Diego State 67. 79, 67 game.
12.
12. Yep. They're going to pull away late. And there ain't going to be nothing they could do.
Wow. There you have it. The sleigh ride.
Boy, you got 3 more hours of this coming.
Ready, baby.
Did you tell your co-host happy birthday,
I
Brent?
did, man.
The
Yeah, my
mayor.
man, Mayor, happy birthday, y'all. Yeah, I got my guy a birthday out here. I got to go get me some soup now. Give me some soup.
All right, we'll let Ron have soup.
I got some avocado oil over there. I'm ready to go, baby.
Yeah, man. You looking slim and trim, man. Keep it up, bro.
All right,
appreciate y'all, man.
Ron's going to have soup. We'll get into a Titans trade. We'll trade you some
Avocado.
Titans talk next. Have your soup, man.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man. It's tricky.
It is.
Okay, Lucas, you can't play this and have me focus on talking to me. You can't do this to me, man. Run DMC. Okay, I'm completely off now. I just want to sit and listen to the song, but I won't. Okay. He's fading it down. He's taking away my distraction. Daniel Jeremiah has distracted Titans fans. We get deeper into this tomorrow. Talked a lot of basketball today after a big basketball weekend and the final basketball game of the season tonight. Thanks to Ron Slay for stopping by. Daniel Jeremiah on the Move the Sticks podcast. What's funny, I listened to the first 2 episodes last week, had the third one set aside, didn't have a chance to listen, started talking about the Titans on there. They were talking about Bucky Brooks' mock draft that he put out last week that didn't even have Will Levis, he said, in the top, 32 pick, 31. There's 31 picks. The Dolphins forfeited, I guess, right? Yeah, there's 31 first-round picks this year. So they're talking about pick 3. Daniel Jeremiah says, I know we're not talking about trades on this, but can I give you a team that I've been told to keep an eye on that's exploring this and looking into this? Again, this is just people around the league who said do not sleep on numero 11, the Tennessee Titans. The 2 teams to keep an eye on with trade-ups are the Raiders and the Titans. I thought about this. Well, Las Vegas, they spent a bunch of money on Jimmy Garoppolo. Maybe they're less likely, although I know there's people are linking them to Will Levis in drafts, but Tennessee Titans jumping from 11 to 3. So we brought this up just a little bit earlier. The recent precedent of all teams is the 49ers, who Rand Carthon worked for. They traded from 12. So they swapped first-round picks, 12 and 3. They sent also to Miami a first and third round pick in 2022 and a first rounder in 2023. So 2 first and a third along with swapping the picks. That's probably going to be about the price. You mentioned too, what the Titans say, what about players? Throw in a player, maybe change the dynamic a little bit.
The reason why I bring that, because I just, at least as of right now, I just don't know where they're going to get the money to pay Big Jeff.
Yep.
So that's what made me think that, or maybe even Tannehill. I don't know the situation. I know it sounds crazy of the cap of Arizona, but I do know Kyler Murray got injured in December on a torn ACL.
Yep.
So it could be that he could be that bridge guy with 1 year left on his deal, veteran guy, bring some leadership, and that way they don't have to rush to get Kyler Murray back. And you can still have a competitive quarterback who can, have a shot of winning every game. So you just never know. I don't know where their cap situation is with quarterbacks and how much they want to allow for that. But if he's not going to be around for, half of the season, then you don't want to rush him. Yep. Not what kind of resources and money you paid him. That'll be interesting. So I don't know if that's true or not, or, the Titans kind of conversation is trying to make sure, the Colts, who are number 4, trying to beat them to the punch on maybe a quarterback they may be thinking about taking. So this is all, behind the scenes and, trying to leverage the different quarterbacks and see if you can move up and put your name in the hat and see if somebody moves.
It is the season of lies.
Yes, it is.
Put things out there, as you called it, and very accurately. It's the season of lies. Sometimes you want something out there about yourself. Maybe you're trying to see what somebody else is going to do. Maybe you're trying to force the Colts to do something crazy.
But did you even see the Texans says, who says we're taking a quarterback?
Yeah.
We may take something else.
They have a pick at 12, too.
Right.
So, we could just, we may just take the pass rusher from Alabama.
Yeah, we do have Mills. What? What are you talking about?
What would you be willing to bet in Vegas that they take a quarterback?
Man.
Come on now.
I'm not a betting man, but, man, I would put all my chips and Lucas's chips up there, too. I mean, they got to take quarterback, right?
Did you see this, Lucas? And the thought was that the story that leaked out was the Texans had said, well, we may just take, Will Anderson.
Yeah, right.
He's the most complete player, in our opinion, and we'll have pick 12. We could always just package that in a second rounder, jump right back up, and just get us another first rounder. Another, inside the top 10, get our quarterback then.
They do have a lot of picks.
They do. Man, I wish the Titans had a lot of picks.
They don't have a lot of picks. They got 6. Hey, let me ask you guys this. Again, we got 45 seconds. We can get into this tomorrow. If you had Hendon Hooker with the same grade as the other 2 guys, and you're not getting one of Stroud or the top 2 quarterbacks.
Bryce Young.
If you have Hendon Hooker with the better grade than Levis or Richardson, You get to 11, would you just take Hendon Hooker? If you couldn't trade back, maybe you want to trade back to like 20 and try to get him there. Maybe this is a question that we answer tomorrow. Give everybody some time, like a homework assignment to think about it. But if you had a better grade on him than the other two guys, let's get into this tomorrow. Would you take Hendon Hooker at 11?
That would be a great one. Maybe we'll put that out on Twitter.
Oh, that's about to come out on Twitter.
Yeah, see what we.
Just think about it.
Yeah,
we'll have
let that marinate. But in the meantime, tell us who we got to win tonight.
UConn, 78-65.
Ooh,
that's my prediction.
Ooh,
thought that on the way in the car.
Man, you, Lucas?
Yep, UConn wins big.
Oh, big. Oh, I want competitive. And so if I want competitive, then I'm going with San Diego. I'm going with the Aztecs. I'm going for Marshall Faulk. Finally, I'm gonna take the Marshall Faulk side.
And Darnay Scott.
Yeah, Darnay Scott. Oh yeah, boy, he was a burner. Oh my God, I would not want to get in the foot race with him. But in the meantime,
we got to race out of here in between time.
Peace.